What's up, y'all? It's your boy Lanye. 24 years free, man. Well, in today's episodes, we're gonna be talking about but before we can go into the episode, I just want to say, if you're new to this channel, give me the thumbs up. If you like what you hear, hit the subscribe, share it, comment. Like, I need that in my life. So if you're new to this channel, 24 years free, give me the thumbs up to this episode if you like it. And if you like it enough, hit subscribe and listen to the rest. So on this episode, we're going to be talking about transitional houses. Now, when you're fortunate enough to get out of prison, you go into a transitional house. Most of the time, when you, if you're fortunate enough, when you're in prison, you got somebody out there to care for you, and you got a house that you can go to. You know, you got a family member or a sister or maybe your wife if you're fortunate enough, right? But even with that said, you're going to a halfway house. You're going to what's it called, a transitional house when you first release from prison. Why that is for, I believe, like I said in the last one, the conditions of parole. Maybe there is a way to get out of prison and go straight home. But I haven't seen it yet. And if there is, then albeit even better. What I'm saying is that right now we're talking about transitional houses. So there are several kinds of transitional houses. Now, obviously the state is going to provide you a place to live. So they have preferred transitional houses. You know, your Amity and your Ark or your, Maria's house or whatever the transitional house name is. Now, keep this in mind too. Is that in the transitional house is an industry that's kind of like blooming on the under. So you can buy a house in the middle of the hood somewhere, throw the house together for a little under $300,000, and then rent the rooms out to there's a transitional house, and the house pays for itself within months. So that's like a little hustle going on. So much so that when I was about to get out, they saw the name of the transitional house that I lived in, or the transitional house that I was planning to be transitioned to, and they low key felt some kind of way, like, how do we know that this is a real real thing? How we know your homie didn't just throw up an LLC just to get you out and you're going straight home? I'm like, well, call them, check them out, do whatever you need to do, your due diligence. So they did that, and it turns out they was legit. But the point I'm making is that it's a hustle. It's a hustle out there. There's all kinds of transitional houses. Like I said, the state will provide you one. These roach-infested downtown situations, and then they have tons of them in the neighborhood. If you're from LA, then you know what neighborhood I'm talking about. The east side and some on the west side. They're in the cut. They're that apartment building next to your house. When you see them strange people sitting there, yeah, that's a transitional house. So they're all over the place, and like I said, they're court ordered. So for the rest of this episode, I'm going to talk about the transitional house that I was in. Now, that shall remain nameless. I might even change some of the names to, to let it wait to the courts to do the indicting. So, the transitional house that I went in went like this. I researched all the transitional houses around where my mother lived. And I wrote them all. I wrote several transitional houses in the area where she lived, because I wanted to live by there so I can catch the bus to her and see her, whatnot. So the one that I got into, it was the one that it was. Like I said, I'm not gonna name no names, but there was a girl. Her name was Lasagna, and there was a guy, I think his name was Pastor, and it was Officer Buddy, you know. And they did their thing, and it is what it is as far as, you know, whatever they did. But I was living there, and everything was, it was one of the things that I wanted to point out about transitional houses. My experience is not unique in this sense. Transitional houses have rules. So you have there's a curfew maybe, or there's chores. You got to mop the floor. You got to wash the dishes this week. That's not a you know, your bed got to be made or whatever. That's not a unreasonable thing to hear about in transitional houses, or, you know, halfway houses. If you think about it, you just got out of prison and you had to do those exact same things in prison. So it's not that far of a stretch to find out that you have one that's you know, that's pushing that line or whatever. You know, you come in at the curfew, they turn you into your folks or whatever. I could see that happening because they're serious about this kind of thing. So you know, the one I went to, they had those kind of rules, and like I said, I just got finished doing them, so I didn't have no problem doing them. But I was seeing all of the underhanded and behind the scenes thing that was happening, and it was Christian based, and like I said, the guy goes by pastor, so you know, I'm seeing these things, and I'm knowing they're not biblically sound, right? And it's a struggle for me because I'm looking on the outside in, and he checks off all of the boxes in regards to you know, that fake ass ghetto preacher. You know what I'm saying? He got the Gucci and the Louis and the Tesla and the Benzo and the nice house and the pool and whatnot. But it's how, you know, his empire's in the middle of the poorest neighborhood in South Central. So I'm wrestling with this, right? So the fool is pulling all kinds of shenanigan moves and working the system in all kinds of ways. I'm fresh out. I'm just happy to be somewhere. I don't really like feel like rocking the boat like that. I just got out. You know what I'm saying? You know, for all intent and purposes, a person could say, you know, he helping me. He let me live in this, you know what I'm saying, his transition. So who am I to you know, to call out the wolf that's in sheep's clothing, right? And that's when I realized I am who I am. Sent me to be who I am, right? So when I realized this, I say, man, look here, I'm not really feeling how y'all doing this and how it's being played. And he hits me with some. Let me point this out before I even go any further. I just turned 51. This man might be 45. At the oldest, he's 45. I don't even know if that is how old he is. So fast forward. So I hit him with the yeah, Pastor. I'm not digging this no more. I think that this is you know, it's some shenanigans. He come at me like this. Hey man, check this out, man. You do what I tell you to do. You think what I tell you to think. That was very problematic for me. I don't really respond very well to those kinds of demands. So I knew we was gonna have a problem. Long story short, it escalated. You know, he had a mouthpiece on the side, lasagna. You know, lasagna, she's stirring the pot. You know, she's not really making things any better. So I watched him play a few people around me, right? I watched him play him. I watched him like humiliate and demolish people. And I said to myself, if you ever come for me, it's on the cracking. Now, by the grace of God, I give all props to the Most High on this one. I believe in the universe and my stones and all of that. But if they tried to come at me, they couldn't, because he that is in me is greater than he is in the world, right? And no weapon formed against me shall prosper. So they couldn't do nothing to me, but I sure could do something to them. So Lasagna keep coming to me and saying, Pastor say this, Lasagna said, Pastor say that, and I'm like, and I'm out of here. So I do a move, and I try to leave. I try to leave on a high note. You know what I'm saying? I try to say, you know what, bro? I appreciate you letting me stay in your spot. I try to follow all your rules. I try to clean up after myself. I'm gonna do a moving, all right? You do your thing over here, and I'm gonna be over there. But it don't pan out like that. I leave the spot, and they got long tentacles, right? So they had done some underhanded stuff, and it was like, we cut this check for like 20 racks. You get like 8 racks. Yeah, they got more, but they did all of the paperwork. So I'm like, but yeah, I don't even live there no more. Like, they're like, yeah, don't trip. We gotta, we work this and we know how to do that, and we tell them this and that, and we fake file this and whatnot. And I'm like, whatever, just shoot my racks, and what I'm saying, I'll be done with y'all, because I had already moved out. And then they get to playing games like like I said, because guy is a bully, right? So he's, check this out, man, you gonna do what I tell you to do, kind of thing. So I don't even live there no more, right? And first of all, this shit is probably hella illegal anyway. So this motherfucker like, if you don't stay in your place, I'ma just cancel it. I said, you gonna just cancel it? I said, what you mean by that? He said, I'ma just cancel the check and tell him I'm cool on the check. Now, for me, this was the last straw. What should have been the last straw was what Lasagna did. Because the way Lasagna did it was, she called me and she told me, they passed the check. They cashed the check. Well, no, they approved the check. They approved the check. And the date was November 4th that the check was approved. By this time, she's telling me this is like December 4th, let's just say. It's been at least a month. So she goes, they approved the check. They approved the amount to you on November 4th. They never printed wait a minute. They printed the check, but they never sent it out because we never got it. Therefore, it ain't canceled, but we gonna cancel it when it come, and they can't reissue it till February. That shit was such a bold-faced lie that I couldn't even handle it. So I hit her back like, somebody lying. I'm finna hit the Alphabet Boys up. I tell her like that. I said, I'm finna hit the Alphabet Boys up. So this is where, and keep in mind, Officer Buddy, they already kicked Officer Buddy out. He was the only thing that helped me in this journey through them. Because they own some foul shit. You need to Google their ass. But I ain't gonna give you their name. I ain't gonna put them out there like that right now. So I mentioned the Alphabet Boys, then he called me. That's when he made that comment about I'll cancel it. I said, you gonna what? He said, yeah, I'm gonna cancel it. I'm gonna tell him you don't live here no more. I say, bro, do you have any idea what kind of dirt I got on you? Do you have any idea the things that I know about and got receipts for? Like, are you serious? Like, I don't live in your house no more. Let's start with that. First of all, I don't live in your house, so you can't threaten me that you're gonna put me out. You can't threaten me that I done nothing to you, because I made sure that's covered. So what are you gonna just say? You're gonna take the money, and you think that that's a threat to me? Let me show you what a real threat is. I'm gonna call the Alphabet Boys on your ass. See, because I look at it like this. As the old saying goes, pride goes before a fall. I believe that's a misquote of the scripture. I believe it's Psalms 16:18. But that's the essence of the verse. And for me, this dude need to fall. This dude is, it's no humbleness in him. And as a man of the, what you want to call it, the man of the cloth, or reverend, or preacher, or apostle, anointed one, or what you want to call him, you have to be humble to be in the position where you're supposed to be representing something way greater than you. And when you ain't humble, that's when you think you God. That's just the way it works. I ain't make this rule up. That's how it works. So I almost feel like appointed for the moment to humble him, because that ain't cool. That ain't cool. And it's to the point now where I realize I'm just the one who's willing to do what 15 people before me should have done. You understand that? So, as far as I'm concerned, transitional houses is a gamble in and of themselves, because it's all kind of a racket, right? Ultimately, what they want to do is they want to see if they can keep you there and pay the regular rent after the 6 months, after somebody stopped paying the rent for them. But you're gonna run into situations in transitional houses even worse than mine, right? Like I could go on this subject matter just about people who I've had to live in a room with, just like I went on in other verses about people I had to be in a pen with. But right now, that's not what this is about. This is more about transitional houses in regards to what you can expect. You can expect I don't know, 1 foot out, 1 foot in. And then the foot in is like the shystiness that's going on, because it's all a racket. It's all a money game. And other than that, I would say it like this. As far as transitional houses go, get what you can get, but shake the rest of it, because it's a racket. I thought about getting into the game. I might get into the game, but from what I learned now, I'm going to take old boy down first, because he on some shenanigans. Yo, I'm not even sure how much time that is, but I'm going to wrap this up. But I do want to say this. If you heard anything that caught your attention, please comment. Hit the comment button. Say something. Holler back. I'll holler back, I promise. Give me the thumbs up if I said anything that caught your attention. And hit the subscribe button and rush the rest up. Yo, it's your boy Lanye, 24 years free.